it's embarrassing.
You know what? Anthony is not FBA for the record. He is not.
He's not FBA for the record. He's not FBA. And he was born in America. He only identifies as a black man. If he gets pulled over, I don't have my non-FBA card to show them. I'm not like those other Negroes. Like, yo, what the fuck, man? This shit is...
So, I've been waiting to jump in. Hold on, can I let B-Mom jump in, y'all, please?
Thanks. I watched this video that came up on my feed today. It was an interview with Malcolm X, and the reporter asked him. He's just like, "So, do you think we're making some progress?" And he goes, "Progress?" And he goes, "Stick a knife 9 inches in my back, and then pull it out 6 inches isn't progress. Pulling it out completely isn't progress. What's progress is when you pull it out and you allow the wound to heal, and we still have the knife in the back, it denying that it's there." And I thought that was interesting, because that's kind of how I feel. That's exact. I am so surprised that nothing has changed in however many years, because that's exactly how I'd still explain it. I think we have a system, right, that's no longer de jure, but it's de facto, of what so many years of propping up one community while pushing another community down. And then we want to think like we're against like something like reparations. I understand the language is frustrating. Some people will say, "Oh, well, you caused it." Like if a Black American is telling you caused this, you should that could be frustrating for white people, right? Because I didn't cause it, and then they get this sort of fatigue, like this. You know what? I'm not even going to deal with this. You think that I caused it? I didn't do. I'm just living my own life. I'm not going to fucking help you, right? And that's what I see that happens a lot when I try to talk to reparations about to people. But I wanna just give an invitation out. Reparations. You don't have to. There's no. You don't have to take responsibility for the harm that you didn't cause. That's not. Fuck that, right? You didn't cause it. No problem. But where you are responsible is what's happening right now. Where is the knife right now? We have a cyclical system that is we have like this. It's impossible. We were just talking about like just housing. We could talk about how housing discrimination and redlining moves into how the schools are not going to be. We're going to have underfunded schools.
30 seconds, man.
We're going to have the school to prison pipeline. That's going to lead to more over policing. That's going to lead to more unjust sentencing, right? Shit with the criminal justice system. 50 to 80% of Black Americans being taken off juries, right? How are you supposed to 20% more harsher sentencing than white Americans with the same exact background? Then of course, if you have unjust sentencing, worse background, you're going to have less economic opportunity. You're going to have less money to do things. You're going to have worse health disparities. There's going to and more economic disenfranchisement. And then it's just going to continue to cycle and cycle and cycle. So my final plea is, if you're a white American, I'm not talking about Black Americans, because no offense, and this is just mathematical, you don't have any say in the system that is the white America. Okay, you don't matter. You're not making the decisions mathematically. I'm gonna.
Yeah, let her land. I got you. Shout out to the Jungle Plantation.
She just keeps on running, dog.
She landed in.
Right. I'm trying. Black Americans, you don't have any say voting. Mathematically speaking, plurality rules the way that voting happens. It doesn't happen. It's completely on the majority, the dominant power in society, and that's white Americans. If you're a white person and you vote, you have a moral responsibility to fix this and to repair it, because you're walking in it and you're benefiting from it today. It doesn't have to do with your ancestors. So fucking just pass it and stop being emotionally neutral.
All right, cool story. Yeah, so. It's ironic to me that, like, this young lady is talking about Malcolm X. Here's the truth of the matter. It will never be enough. People will never be satisfied. If they said tomorrow, okay, $1 trillion, it still wouldn't be enough. I mean, it's like...
What are you basing that on?
Bro, because right now,
Are you saying like psychologically Black Americans are it's impossible that they're going to be able to once it balances
Let them finish, y'all.
Hey, guys, we've got a one mic policy here. With all due respect, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Beamer, I really appreciate your input into the conversation. It was actually really interesting, but Anthony was trying to just respond. Anthony, sorry.
thank you, Ro. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, so as I was saying, listen, you know, it will never be enough. There's a certain segment of people who will never be happy. They will always blame other people for their circumstances. They will always be dissatisfied with their lives. When you have someone like a Whoopi Goldberg who like is going to sit down there and talk about how she's oppressed, how oppressed she is. When you have people that's going to say that Shador Sanders was the victim of a modern day lynching and compare his circumstances, multimillionaire, to Emmett Till, this is what they're going to compare Shador to. You have people that are permanently brain dead. It's sad. There's nothing you can do to help them. You just have to accept that this is their plight and move on. I don't accept.
Let him finish. Let him finish, JW.
I gotta ask him a question.
JW, I got you. As soon as he finished, ask him the question. Go ahead, Anthony. Go.
Thank you, man. He's lucky I'm driving, bro. He really is. So listen,
JW, come on, man. Come on, man. We trying to have a good discussion, man. Come on, man, brother. Come on, Anthony. Go.
yeah, thank you, man. So ultimately, you know, there's just some people that are going to be casualties of war. That's the reality of it. They're just stuck, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do to help them. They're not even going to be a part of the conversation. They're perpetual losers. This is their starting point. I'm gonna land right.
JW, you got a question? Hold on a second, y'all. JW, you got a question?
Do you think that this
No, this is a completely unhinged person who has disdain for foundational Black Americans. A lot of people who are non-FBA, they grew up in households who were very xenophobic towards us. They already looked at us as inferior. And so when they grow up, they get on platforms and they spew their hatred for my particular ethnic group. And they think because they have melanin, high concentrations of melanin, that somehow gives them the right to attack my community and my ethnic group, or because they were teased as children. A lot of Caribbeans and Africans were teased by Black Americans and others. They grew up with this resentment towards us. So anytime they get an opportunity to attack my ethnic group, they will do so, and they do it again under the guise of, hey, I have high concentrations of melanin, so I can do that.
I just wanted to respond to Anthony real quick. You know, I appreciate your response, but it's a non sequitur. It's a straw man. You didn't address what I'm actually saying. You're saying, oh yeah, there's always gonna be people that are gonna be, you know, it's never gonna be enough. Those people, it doesn't matter whether they're there, because it doesn't logically invalidate the moral obligation to repair what is the measurable harm that is in the system that we live in. Okay, so it doesn't matter. They're going to exist, and also in the last bit, they're human beings. They're going to die off, and it's up to us, right, the new generation, to provide opportunity and to repair that real measurable harm today. Remember, and I just said that, and it's intergenerational, right?
Can I maybe offer something here, Anthony? Yeah, thanks. I'm just listening with an open mind. I don't see that either of you are wrong. I don't see that either of you are actually right. I'm sure there's actually some middle ground that regardless of who you are, this conversation, this dialogue could actually find a middle ground and say, you know what, you're right, Anthony, or you know what, you're right, Beamer. Try and find where that middle ground might be, and we might be able to get it like a progressive conversation going here. What are your thoughts?
But so Anthony's unhinged because he doesn't even qualify for reparation.
Yes. So, Bima, as it stands right now, right? I fundamentally am opposed to reparations. I don't see like any kind of middle ground where you and I are going to meet and have a better understanding. All right. And for the record, I've been married to a so-called FBA woman for 20 years.